Giants have emerged from their strongholds to threaten civilization as never before. Hill giants are stealing all the grain and livestock they can, while stone giants have been scouring settlements that have been around forever. Fire giants are press-ganging small folk into the desert, while frost giants' long ships have been pillaging along the Sword Coast. Even the elusive cloud giants have been witnessed, their wondrous floating cities appearing above Water's Deep and Baldur's Gate. Where is the storm giant King Hecaton, who is tasked with keeping order among these giants? What the lands of Faerun, the elves and dwarves, the humans and the halflings, and the gnomes and the dragonborn need right now is a group of heroes to raise and take on their spread and ensure continued peace in the lands. And maybe one day they'll get round to it.
Talk on the streets and taverns of Baldur's Gate has turned to a death curse, a mysterious ailment afflicting anyone who has passed through the doors of death and returned. A wasting disease that seems them sliding back towards the death they once denied. And the doors of death seem to have sealed tightly shut, meaning that nobody can return from beyond them. Temples and scholars are at a loss to explain this mysterious death curse. A dark power grows in the jungles of Chult, a mysterious peninsula far to the south, ringed by mountains and choked by rainforests. The death curse and this dark power seem to be intertwined, and those suffering from the curse seek to bring an end to it. Heroes have been chosen for this task, but they have not returned, and time runs short for those seeking to avoid a second painful death. And so now it seems that it is time for new heroes to rise. Will they succeed where others have failed? Or will they be doomed to wander lost in the jungles of Chult forever?
that really is interesting.
Hello, 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 and welcome to this final boss fight Let's Play of the Yawhg. My name is John, and I am joined by Ben.
I missed a lot of that, but hello.
By
Same here.
sorry, the Yawhg was starting, and it apparently just ate my internet.
Shall we start again?
It did kind of cut out a bit with, when it loaded up.
I am joined by Ben,
Hello.
by Tani,
Greetings.
and by Orichalcos Eels.
Greetings, mortals. I'm sorry, I cannot do that serious.
Greetings, mortals.
And we are going to play, or these three are going to play the Yawhg, and I'm going to direct them through their adventure.
Not to mention that Ollie here is actually one of the newest,
Really good. It's really good to be here.
But yeah, it's the first time him being on the stream with us.
Yeah,
We will break him in.
new people.
He will become one of us.
Yes.
Hopefully the audio is working okay, and you guys can hear me speaking, and you can also hear the other guy speaking, because there's no way to turn it down.
Make the audio a bit better.
I've tried, and every time I try and turn it down, it just
Let's play around.
it just goes away.
Right.
The Yawhg just goes away.
Well, the worst case scenario, I'm sure the chat will let us know if we need to alter anything.
Tani, as you're in the stream, can you just unmute it and check that you can hear us? Because I can try and fiddle with it.
I, B, C, D, E.
Hello, Danny.
Because I know
I
that
can hear myself.
I know that
It's
Ben's.
just the background music for the song.
This is a really loud bit of it, so if you can hear yourself over this, we should be okay. I don't know why they decided to have this really loud opening music over the character select screen. It's very annoying. To be fair, there is, as I said before the stream started, there's no menu in this game. There's no options, there's no ability to turn it down, and there's no windowed mode to it.
Interesting function.
It's a few years old, is the problem. But I don't know why why being a few years old means they didn't put a menu in.
How old is it?
It's about 5 years old, I think. Should look it up.
Interesting.
In 2013, there were plenty of other games that had menus.
Yeah, menus was a
At
thing.
that time.
That's trying to break away from the rest of the mainstream.
Anyway,
Menus over pussy.
you guys at this point need to pick characters.
Alright.
And so I think for this, I'm going to give you a brief description of the character outfits.
I'm looking at the stream anyway.
Same here.
So am I.
We have Orange, who is at the top there. You have Red, who is all the way over that way. That way.
Getting eaten by her colour.
You've got Green, who's got a big bushy beard and big moustache.
Honestly, looks like Ben.
To be fair, last time we said that was Sean.
It is our amalgamation. It
we
is us
have.
together.
We also then have
Okay,
Blue.
who played the polymerization card?
We then have Blue, who is basically Amy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
see
very
what
right
you mean now.
You see what I mean about that? Yeah.
there. Yeah,
So-
we need to get her a blue hood with horns.
So who wants to be who? I'm gonna guess Ben. Do you want to be Green?
Well, well, that cut out for me there. I don't know what's said.
Do you want to be green?
I'll be green. I think green's good.
I'll be orange.
I'll be blue because blue's my favourite colour.
Okay, so we've got blue, green, and orange. In this game, I will explain this to you guys now. In this game, there are 6 weeks before the Yawhg arrives. You guys don't know what the Yawhg is. You don't know that it's coming. You don't know what that means, but you've got 6 weeks to prepare for a thing that you don't know is going to happen.
Okay.
That sounds encouraging.
Good luck. Over the course of those 6 weeks, there are 8 locations that you can go to. Once one of you has gone to a location, any subsequent players can't go there anymore. So you can only go to a location. Each location can only be used once per week.
Okay.
There are There are 2 options for what you can do at that location. And each of them will give you a stat boost.
Nice.
Okay.
And then a random event will occur throughout the course of that week.
And affects things.
That affects things.
Oh boy.
At the end of the 6 weeks, the Yawhg will arrive and will ruin the town.
Okay.
After the Yawhg hits, you guys then have to pick your role in the rebuilding of the town based on your stats that you have at the end of the 6 weeks.
Alright.
And depending on your stats and which jobs you pick for yourselves, depends on how well the rebuilding goes. And then we will have a little epilogue of your character, telling us what your character did after, for the rest of their lives.
I died during the Yawhg.
Spoilers.
So let's see how your adventure goes. The Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware.
You know what? If this is going to be like a freaking Ragnarok situation, I'm going to be screaming. Oh, look how pretty this place is.
This is your town.
It's very nice.
I do remember that there are some options that disappear behind my webcam. So Amy is going first. Blue is going first.
I'm in the dark deep area. I'm in the forest.
You're in the forest at the moment. You can go to the forest, the arena, the alchemy tower, the gardens, the palace, the tavern, the hospital, or the slums.
Well, currently I'm still in the forest, so I'm going to just stay in the forest.
You're going to stay in the forest?
You're just going to relax in the forests.
Yeah, it's a nice day. It's a nice day of the week, so.
In the forest, you can chop wood, or you can go hunting.
Ooh, I like to go hunt, please.
You spend the week hunting defenseless critters with this bow and arrow.
Oh, like fancy. Yeah, we definitely need to get.
In the scenario of an apocalypse, it's you or them.
You gain 2 finesse and sell the pelts for 1 wealth.
Nice.
One night through the trees, you spot a group of cloaked figures, all standing in a circle.
Oh boy, cult! We got a cult.
They are chanting in unison.
Yeah, that's a cult, guys.
O mighty lord of the night, master of beasts, bringer of pain and derision. You accidentally step on a twig, producing a loud cracking noise. They immediately stop chanting and look over in your direction.
It's just a deer. No,
Do you
roll stealth?
Do you take them on, or do you run for it?
I'm running for it.
You weave through the trees with the grace of a gazelle, and you lose them. What a workout! You gain 1 physique.
Nice.
Ben.
Yes.
You can't go to the forest, but you can go to the arena, the alchemy tower, the gardens, the palace, the tavern, the hospital, or the slums.
To the tavern.
No surprise
If the apocalypse is happening and I'm gonna die, I want to be drunk out of my brain.
We're better to find true soldiers than the ones who've drunk out their head.
Would you like to spend the week bartending or drinking?
I will bartend.
You spend the
Welcome
week
to the drunken monk.
You spend the week drinking, serving drinks at the tavern. You earn a wealth in tips, and you gain 2 charm.
Yay! Send
One-
that charm my way, Ben.
One
That's
day.
The design of this guy looks very nice.
One day, an impromptu drinking contest is held. Do you enter or spectate?
Enter.
You down pint after pint, drinking as if your life depended on it. You end up blacking out. When you come to, you find yourself in a home that you don't recognise. In only your underwear.
And you turn to your bed and you see an orc.
Your clothes are nowhere to be found, and you seem to be the only one home. What happened? The end.
No one will know.
Oh, they will when I try and walk home.
Orichalcos, you can go to the arena, the alchemy tower, the gardens, the palace, the hospital, or the slums.
You know what? To the alchemy tower.
Yeah!
Would you like to clean the lab or attempt to brew a potion?
I'm gonna brew a potion. Let's see how badly this goes.
You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews.
I really like the design of orange. It's adorable.
You gain 2 magic and 1 mind.
Yes!
One day,
Some snacks.
One day you hear cries for help coming from the next room. Running over to investigate, you see that the alchemists there have accidentally created an ooze monster.
Well, shit.
How do you dispatch the ooze? Punch the ooze into submission or blast it with magical powers.
I'm gonna blast it with magic. If I touch it, it's probably gonna dissolve me.
You pulverize the ooze into a puddle with an array of magical spells. The alchemists all cheer. You gain 1 charm.
Nice.
They say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured homes whole, stole lives, tore families and family members apart. But that was so very long ago.
This Yawhg sounds like a really nice fella.
Now we need to wait for Tanny to get back.
Okay.
So how you been?
I've been pretty good, actually. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Let's see.
Pretty good.
What's hot topic at the moment?
Hot topic.
What's everyone think about the whole journey?
Hello.
Ah, never mind.
Well, there you are.
Tanny,
Yeah.
it is your turn.
I got a coffee crisp. I was like, yeah. Okay, let's see.
Would you like to stay in the forest, or would you like to branch out somewhere else?
I'm going to branch out somewhere else. I might go to the gardens.
To the gardens. Would you like to landscape or meditate?
Meditate.
You spend the week in deep meditation next to this pink tree.
Oh my god, that does. Every time I look at him, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely Amy. We gotta get Amy.
That is very fitting for the character.
Honestly, and all that'd be a really interesting idea for me to do. Like, you know, I said the idea I wanted to do was to try and draw guys from the final boss fight team and Geekwell's team to be in like D&D alternate universe. I think that would be quite an interesting thing for her to wear something like that, for her to wear something like that, and for her character.
You gain 1 magic and 2 mind.
Perfect.
One day, a toothless old woman approaches you. I have a small pouch of magic beans. Would you be interested in purchasing them?
You don't know where those beans have been.
Your options are, of course I would, which will take 1 wealth away, or no thank you.
I'll take them.
You spend 1 wealth on the beans. Later, you decide to plant them in small, rarely visited part of the garden.
And a giant beanstalk grows in the ground.
I hope so. That'll be my ticket way out of it.
That is the end of week 2 for you. Ben.
Yes. I would like to go to the arena.
At the arena, would you like to compete in the fighting, or bet on the fighting?
I will compete.
You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse.
Very nice.
During a match, during a match, another warrior's weapon is knocked from their grasp. You barely manage to avoid it. With a sickening crunch, it destroys the knee of a nearby bystander.
Ouch.
He accuses you of causing him harm by not stopping the flying weapon. He takes you to court. Do you offer to settle, or defend yourself?
I will defend myself.
You object, but you can't seem to convince the judge.
What, not even with my 7 charm?
Apparently not. You didn't roll high enough. He rules in the plaintiff's favour and orders you to perform community service.
Could have been worse.
You gain 1 physique and 1 finesse. Unfortunately, the boring tasks take a toll on you mentally. You lose 1 mind. Orichalcos.
Yes.
Where would you like to spend week 2?
I think I might actually stay in the alchemy tower.
Would you like to clean it this week, or continue to attempt to brew potions?
I think I'll brew potions again. I'll clean it the week afterwards.
You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind.
Very nice.
One day, all the alchemists decide to take a break from work and instead throw a cantrip party.
Lovely.
One alchemist waves his hand and produces confetti in front of him. Another spawns a seemingly endless number of doves from his sleeves.
That just sounds amazing. I want to be in a party like that.
Then all the alchemists turn to you to see what you will come up with. Would you like to do a simple trick or a complex trip?
I'm gonna go simple because I don't know if I'm enough to go complex yet. Who knows what would happen if I do that?
By snapping your fingers, you change your eyebrow colour.
Oh, that's not the weirdest thing I've done when it comes to spells.
Not bad. one of the alchemists say. You gain another magic.
Hey, they're green. I can make them wiggle like caterpillars.
Hello,
I have returned again.
It was honest
Yay.
in a heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook. The air went still.
Wait, what?
This Yawhg again, he sounds like a lovely fella, you know, killing families and stuff like that.
Week 3.
Invite him over.
To be honest, it sounds very familiar. I think it's...
Week 3. Tanny, would you like to stay in the gardens, or would you like to go somewhere else?
Let's see where we're going to go out. What's below Palace again? What's the rest of the other one?
Tavern, hospital, or slums?
I will go to the Palace.
The palace. Would you like to do admin work or attend the ball?
Let's do administration.
You spend
Crystal ball.
You spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. Down this dark corridor. You are paid 2 wealth, and you gain 1 mind.
Sweet.
One day you overhear the jester tell a joke to a group of people. Everyone laughs, but you didn't understand the joke at all. Do you attempt to ask for an explanation, or try to figure out the joke on your own?
I'll try and figure out the joke on my own.
Several hours later, you figure it out, and a small chuckle is had.
Aw.
All that thinking gave your mind a workout. You gain 1 mind.
Oh, you're brony.
Ben,
Yes.
where would you like to spend this week?
This time, I'm gonna go to the forest.
Would you like to chop wood or go hunting?
I'm gonna go hunting.
You spend the week hunting defenseless critters with this crossbow.
Oh, adorable.
You
Oddly
gain...
adorable. There's a giant, burly, hairy man with a little crossbow.
It does look like one of those Bigfoot photos.
You gain 2
Medieval
finesse.
Bigfoot.
You gain 2 finesse and sell the pelts for 1 wealth.
Very nice.
One day you stumble upon a gigantic moss-covered stone. It pulses with a magical energy. What do you do? Touch it, or leave it alone.
Did you hear that?
No.
I touch it.
You lay your hands onto the enormous object. The
I don't know why I thought you
stones...
said you lick your hand.
The stone's magical energy shoots into your body. You gain 1 magic.
Yes.
Orichalcos.
Alright.
Would you like to clean the lab, or would you like to do something else?
You know what? I'm going to keep my promise. So I'm going to stay and clean the lamp. I was about to say lamp. For some reason I had genies on the mind.
You spend the week cleaning up noxious chemicals and scrubbing this cauldron.
Half of the chemicals I'm experimenting with.
You are paid 1 wealth, and you gain 1 physique and 1 magic. One day, an artificer stops by for a visit. She is adorned with magical gadgets and gizmos, and is followed everywhere by her clockwork spider.
Oh,
That just sounds awesome.
The alchemists of the tower all go out of their way to impress the artificer, offering her an array of potions and elixirs. As she's leaving, she adorns the most charming of the alchemists with a special trinket. The fact that she didn't choose you was a very humbling experience. You gain 1 charm. And then the world was a howling fury, chaos, screaming, the sounds of all we knew being pulled in half.
How pleasant.
You'll notice over in the dockyard, mists are just forming.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Oh great, it's like The Happening.
Yes.
Oh, it was the wrong movie. It's The Mist.
Mist.
Tanny.
I've just gotten into Stephen King stuff, so my mind's a little bit. Yeah.
Don't worry.
I would say, let's go to the hospital.
Hospital. Would you like to clean up or tend to the patients?
Tend to the patients.
You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn a wealth.
Nice.
One day, while in the maternity ward, you notice a woman about to give birth. The baby she births is no ordinary baby, however.
Oh boy.
Its skin is pitch black and shiny, and its eyes glow like an orange flame.
Oh
It
yeah.
is Cthulhu.
It wrestles
No.
itself free from the doctor's hand and tries to fly away. "Stop that demon!" yells the doctor.
Who's the dad? That's my question.
Would you like to use your strength or use your magic?
Well, physique is my strength, isn't it?
Basically.
I'll go magic.
With a wave of your hand, you put up a magical barrier blocking the exit. The baby breaks right through it and flies off into the night sky.
Oh well.
You turn back and
Ah, well, what could possibly go wrong? Ben,
It's the end of the world. What
Yes.
damage did the demon do that this Yawhg is going?
where would you like to go this week?
I would like to go to the gardens.
Oh boy. Would you like to go landscaping or meditating?
I will meditate.
Yes, join me in the meditation.
You
then.
will also spend a week in deep meditation under this pink
Look at
tree.
him.
I just love this guy.
It's totally adorable again.
You gain 1 magic and 2 mind.
Beautiful.
One day, while in the gardens, you notice a beanstalk.
Hey!
Oh, I knew it. I called it.
Do you eat it or water it?
I water it.
Oh, thank you.
If plants could express emotions, it would let you know how delighted it was to be watered.
Oh,
Sadly, plants can't express emotions, and therefore it does not.
Oh.
Orichalcos,
Yes.
where would you like to go this week?
I am going to go to the arena.
oh,
would you-
now that's changed.
Would you like to compete in a fight or bet on it?
I will compete.
You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You
Look
gain...
at me. Am I holding a little dagger?
Yes.
You're holding the dagger wrong.
That's kind of what I'd expect Riordan to look like if he was ever in that situation.
I look like a luchador or something.
You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. One day... Oh boy. One day, in the middle of a match, a small baby with jet black skin and glowing eyes flies into the center of the arena.
What the hell?
Fire erupts from his eyes, melting the flesh off of one of the fighters.
Well, I guess I win.
The baby then shapeshifts into a gargantuan horned demon.
Oh, baby.
Wait,
Before I go on a
What?
murderous rampage, will anyone dare challenge me to a duel? Asks the demon. Would you like to challenge him or run away?
I'm most likely going to die, and I know when, so I'm probably going to run away.
You book it, alongside the rest of the crowd.
Probably a smart thing to do.
That loud explosion that just deafened me. Just as you make it out, the arena crumbles to the ground, most likely killing everyone still inside. And you can no longer go to the arena.
Oh no.
It wasn't my fault.
When it arrives this time,
Yeah, about that guy, sorry.
When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong? Or have we forgotten?
This is a very meaningful kind of game, guys.
This is a visually lovely game.
And as you can see now, the arena's all kinds of broken.
I'm just standing out there smiling like I didn't do this.
Tanny, where would you like to go?
I'm gonna go back to the gardens again.
Would you like to landscape or meditate?
I'm gonna meditate again.
You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind.
I'm getting more magic in.
One day you notice a growing beanstalk in the corner of the garden.
It is.
When you get
Glowing.
closer, everything flashes white. The beanstalk transforms into a tiny gnome.
Oh!
The gnome thanks you for freeing him from the magical seeds. And says his name is Fenthwick.
Oh, Fenwick!
As a reward, he offers you a choice between the following. The blessing of the tangible, or the blessing of the cerebral.
What to choose? What's a cerebral?
Mind,
Intangible?
physical, and mind.
I'll probably go for tangible.
You gain 3 physique.
Nice.
You gain 3 finesse. You gain 3 wealth. Ben.
I want to see the gnome. Okay, what again are the options below palace?
Tavern, hospital, or slums?
I'll go to the slums.
I guess the bright side is when the Yawhg arrives, we need to destroy the arena.
Would you like to spend the week pickpocketing or fighting crime?
I'm gonna fight crime.
Become the Batman.
I have to say, I love this one for everybody because they have a vigilante outfit.
Oh my god, I gotta see this.
You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals in this, your vigilante uniform.
Look at that!
Oh god. I'm the arrow.
You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse.
Oh yeah.
He looks like someone trying to cosplay the Riddler.
He looks like I look like when I try to cosplay the red.
One night, a man walks up to you. Excuse me, sir. Feeling a little lonely tonight? He asks. For only a small amount of coin, I can make you feel good all night.
Uh-oh.
Well, with an offer like that, how can you refuse?
Would you like to say to him, sure, it will cost you 2 wealth, or no thank you?
Well, the world's going to end, so why not?
Sure. I'll give him my wealth.
You hand over a small sack of coins. You lose 2 wealth. On your way to hit your house, you start talking. You start about talking. Poorly translated in some places. This game. On your way to your house, you start talking about philosophy, history, magic, everything really. The 2 of you have an amazing conversation that goes well into the morning. You gain 2 mind and 2 charm.
Very nice.
The man apologises for the lack of the sex, but thanks you for the chat.
Well, you got something out of it anyway.
He refunds you back half of what you spent. You gain 1 wealth.
What a
You
nice
had a
guy.
friend.
He's a nice guy. Yeah.
I've never seen that be a man before. Interesting.
There's always something new.
That's brilliant.
I've
Wait,
seen
it's
it.
week 5 already?
It is week 5 already.
Damn.
Don't worry, after your turn, it's week 6.
Where would you like to go now, Orichalcos?
I am going to go to the forest.
Would you like to chop wood or hunt?
I am going to do some good old hunting.
You spend the week hunting defenseless critters with this crossbow.
Nice. It's a bit more appropriate for my size.
It might be the same crossbow.
But did he just leave it behind?
It's a rental.
Oh, okay.
You gain 2 finesse, and you sell the pelts for 1 wealth.
Nice.
One day, during your forest excursions, you stumble upon a swarm of rats.
Oh dear.
At first, you jump backwards in shock, but then you start to hear them conversing with one another. They call you over.
It's the rat from Charlotte's Web.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh my god.
One of them says in a high-pitched voice.
It is the rat from Charlotte's Web.
Do you think you might be able to help us out with something? It's Rat Damon.
It's Rat Damon.
Rat Damon.
You see, we're trying to elect our new leader, but it seems our votes are completely tied.
The accent that John has is really funny.
We're trying to decide between Sidpaw the Vengeful and Blighttooth the Wise, says the rat. Seedpaw steps forward. If you vote for me, the rats will have a powerful leader, one who isn't afraid to take our fight to the enemy, proclaims Seedpaw. Blighttooth then steps forward. If you vote for me, good sir, I will lead these rats to an age of enlightenment, says Blighttooth. Which rat do you choose?
Blighttooth. Because he sounds more lovely.
Half of the rats roar with tiny applause.
Nice.
Seedpaw bows his head and walks back into the mass of rats. Blighttooth climbs up to your shoulder and whispers ancient secrets into your ear as a way of thanking you. You gain 1 mind and 1 magic.
Nice.
Nice indeed.
The Yawhg. It's almost here. Almost.
How is it here so quickly?
Almost.
It has been 6 weeks.
Well,
Tanny.
oh boy, I see them missing.
The end is near.
What can I do with the drunken saint? I'll go to the alchemy tower.
Would you like to clean it or brew potions?
I'll go to clean it.
You spend the week cleaning up noxious chemicals. You are paid 1 wealth for your labour, and gain 1 physique and 1 magic. One day, a swarm of rats infests the building. They are
Hopefully
biting.
not the ones I were talking to.
They are biting everything in their way. Everyone else in the building flees immediately. What do you do? Run like mad or blast them with magic?
I'll blast them with magic. Get the fuck out.
Considering how it went well with that demon.
You wave your hands and produce a bouquet of flowers.
Shit.
That wasn't the spell you meant to cast.
This really is Amy.
The rats... The rats spot your attempt to exterminate them and begin biting you horribly. You lose 1 physique. You manage to escape, but there are now rats all over the tower.
Oh.
Ben,
Yes.
where would you like to go?
You know what? I'm feeling fancy. I'm gonna go to the palace.
And what would you like to do at the palace?
What are the options again?
Do admin work or attend a ball?
I'm going to attend the ball.
And with your snazzy moustache and stuff, you are very well dressed. That.
Here is your fabulous party outfit.
Oh no!
It's amazing.
Funny thing is, I don't get to see it in time. Unless
You spend the week attending fancy gatherings.
And you've got a tiny little wine glass.
It's a normal-sized wine glass. He is a giant
big
man. You
Alright.
gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day, the king approaches you. Excuse me, but you look like someone I can confide in, he says. I really want a prince to take over the throne, but the queen and I aren't exactly active in the bedroom. He blushes a little. Do you have any advice on how I could romance the queen, so to speak? Would you like to teach the king your ways, or admit you don't know how to help?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
So, sorry, I missed a bit there because I didn't hear a thing.
How far back did you not hear anything from? What did I last say?
Was my
He
mic?
he wanted to confide in me that he wanted a prince, but
I
that was it.
He is not active in the bedroom with the queen,
Alright.
and would like to know how to romance.
And you've gone again, John.
He would like to know how to romance the queen.
Alright.
Would you like to teach him your ways, or admit you don't really know how to help?
I will teach the king my ways.
You spend hours drawing a bunch of diagrams and going through scenarios with the king. By the end of it, he's just as charming as you are.
Nice.
He
But his
thanks you.
moustache will not be as amazing as yours.
No. There are some things you can't teach. He thanks you and hands you a large sack of coins as a reward.
Damn.
You gain 3 wealth.
Very nice.
Orichalcos,
Yes?
where would you like to go?
I am going to go
Hey, Brian.
to the hospital.
Hi, Brian.
And at the hospital, would you like to clean up or tend to the patients?
I'm going to tend to the patients.
You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth.
Nice.
One day, the bloodletting leeches somehow escape their containers.
Well, that's a problem.
Leeches start flooding into the hallway.
It's a tsunami of leeches.
There are people screaming everywhere as leeches slither towards them. Somebody do something! Yells one of the doctors. Yes, Brian, we are. Would you like to zap the leeches with magic, or use yourself as bait?
I'm going to use my...
You are going to use yourself as bait. Hello? Hello?
My internet's really messing up.
Hello,
Yes,
Orichalcos.
Hello?
You would like to use yourself as bait?
Yes, I would.
You start taunting the leeches to lead them back to their containers. With great skill, you manage to avoid the leeches' fangs.
Nice.
You then lure them back into their containers. Quick thinking. You gain 1 mind. The storm arrives in the night. By the morning, it still rages. For 3 full days, the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us. But then, it ends. We see the graveyard our home has become. Our home. Does anything yet live? Is it? Are we past saving?
Only one way to find out.
So, Tanny, you now have to choose your role in this post-Yawg town.
Oh.
So, currently the thing that's high right now is my finesse.
Finesse is a 10, mind is a 13.
My mind is a 13. My question is, what can be good for a mind?
So you've got the options of the leader, the builder, the conjurer, the doctor, the smelter, the tailor, the looter, or the town drunk.
I'll be the leader. I think that might be mind.
You take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. You try to get people to listen to you, but nobody does so.
Is it because I think I'm because I need charm.
The demoralization of having a horrible leader has hindered the rebuilding effort. Ben.
Right.
Options left: the builder, the conjurer, the doctor, the smelter, the tailor, the looter, or the town drunk.
I'm gonna say the builder.
The builder.
Yeah, with my charm of 11, perhaps I should have done the leader.
Yeah, we could have switched.
Never mind.
You take it upon yourself to help rebuild the town by hand. You rebuild homes fairly quickly and efficiently. This helps the rebuilding effort a lot. Orichalcos.
Yes?
Would you like to be the conjurer, the doctor, the smelter, the tailor, the looter, or the town drunk?
I'm gonna be the conjurer.
I like how we all gone for the top three.
Well,
You
I
take
think they
it.
are the important ones, to be honest.
You take it upon yourself to conjure up supplies for the town. With your magic, you summon supplies of the highest caliber.
Nice.
With little effort, you're summoning high-quality lumber and food from out of nowhere. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly.
I think in hindsight, we should have had Danny as the doctor or something like that, but... never
And
mind.
so, we set about our tasks, once more living our lives. This time in a way we might never have expected, or even wanted. But in the end, we were defeated.
Oh no.
Those of us left struggled to put our home to rights. But the effort was futile, doomed. The city bled survivors, eventually becoming a husk, a dead thing. And perhaps the Yawhg was only partly to blame.
So we all died.
We just had a really terrible.
Tanny,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
to attempt to distract yourself from the disasters unfolding around you, you try meditation. You spend weeks at a time sitting in one spot, trying to cross to another plane of existence. After years of attempts and self-sacrifice, you finally manage to cross to the astral realm.
Damn.
You come to find that the astral realm is exactly like the normal world, except everyone's eyes are slightly smaller.
Huh?
Everything is just as wrecked and broken as it was over there. You don't know how to get back home.
I think I'll just get used to the whole idea of having small eyes as my friend.
Ben,
Yes.
the city in shambles, you flee into the woods. You try to find a new town to make a new life for yourself. During your travels, you are endlessly tormented by the spirits of dead animals. They lead you astray, cackle maddeningly into your ears, preventing you from sleeping. They warn other animals of your presence, preventing you from finding any food. Your frame is now gaunt and hollow. Eventually your body gives in.
Oh no. That's
You
really
die
sad.
face down in the mud.
That's really
This is
sad.
depressing.
Orichalcos.
Yes.
Your previous alchemy experience serves you well after the Yawhg. You start an underground potion brewing facility. You get people...
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
You get people hopelessly addicted to your variety of substances and exchange them for favours and services.
Oh.
You do well for yourself within the broken walls of this former village. The fact that many people are dying from potion overdoses phases you little.
This is sad.
You did not get a happy ending.
I think I got the worst.
I'm not sure dying face down in the mud.
I'm gonna
I got the whole
Forced to
town
starve.
addicted and stuff, and I just...
Telling
quickly.
me, I basically went to another dimension.
You got the best situation out of all this.
I'm gonna quickly attempt to turn the volume down, and we'll maybe give another round.
Okay.
Wait, can we add Brian in here?
Hi, Sean.
I'll just be right
Hey,
back.
sure.
I'm gonna go get something.
I spelled Brian. I spelled Brian wrong. Sorry, Brian.
That's alright, Brian. Brian.
I gotta
Brian,
restart
Brian.
the game.
Did it crash or something?
I attempted to... If you attempt to window out of it to change volumes or, like, do anything on the rest of the computer, it doesn't reload itself. Which is really annoying because I then can't change the volume because the next time I try to restart it, it just restarts at the full volume. Hi, Sean. I'm glad you ate too much. Ooh. Sean had an orange sorbet in an orange.
Sounds nice.
Bit quiet today.
It is, isn't it?
It's nice and quiet though.
Oh.
Sean or Brian, do you want to join us?
We have room for one more.
And I've returned. What have I missed?
We're
Oh,
now
look.
trying to beg people into.
Hello, who joined?
Hello.
Hello, Sean.
Yay!
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I just missed the roundup of how you did.
Poorly.
Yeah?
I
Yeah, we
got people
really-
addicted to magic drugs.
Nice.
It's not as nice as it sounds. Tanny got... Remember the name of the other player. Bad with names of new people.
Yeah, and Ben
The
basically.
lovely Ben.
He died. His character died.
I
No,
died.
but
The worst part is the character looked a lot like me as well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And he fall in the mud and died because
Animals were pricks.
the animals wouldn't let me eat them.
What jerks.
Yes. Well, you see, it's just a part of the circle of life.
I bet you even asked
And
nicely.
Well, you see, we eat the antelope, but when we die, we become the grass for the antelope eat.
Are you still
That
trying
was
to get
very
the game
fitting.
working?
Yeah, I'm just trying a couple of things to try and get the game to actually allow me to volume it down a little bit. Please let this one work.
Excuse me if cutlery on plate noises.
Alright.
That's fine.
I'm demolishing.
Oh, it did.
I'm currently demolishing a fruitcake.
Ooh,
Yay, it's turned down.
Delicious.
hooray.
What are you demolishing, Sean?
Cake.
Ooh.
Chocolate cake.
Ooh. Best
I'm
cake.
having demolishing fruitcake.
Second best cake.
I'm just having gov syrup.
I'm having toffee crisps.
Neither of those two things are cake, so...
Oh, I've not had toffee crisps in so long.
Okay, so Ben, do you want to play green again?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
Brian, if you do want to join, I'm just happy chatting, so please feel free to jump in.
I'm gonna give orange another go.
I'm going blue again. I'm going zany again.
If you jump into the tower, we'll drag you across, Brian.
Yeah.
For some reason the stream is freezing. I just refresh it, but still. Might be
Yeah,
mine. So
jump
maybe-
into the tower. There we go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Brian.
Hello.
Would you like to be red, Brian?
Sure.
A very good choice.
I have magical FBF powers. I can drag people between rooms.
Well, that's important. to have.
And you also have chocolate cake, which is also nice.
Which is my second superpower.
I was actually taking a look at who I have under consideration for votes for my Phonecast comic comic book adaptation of Helen of Troy. So far, I've got myself cast as 4 characters.
Oh.
3 of whom are brothers, and the other one being their father. So.
The Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks. And for some reason, once again, no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware.
No one expects the Yawhg Inquisition.
Tanny,
Of course.
Shiny red
Okay.
outfits.
where would you like to go, Tanny?
Who else want to go the first?
Sean, I think your phone is too close to your microphone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So would you like to go
I'll
to the...
stop playing around on my phone.
You can, just move it away from the microphone.
I'm gonna go the forest again.
Gonna go to the forest again. Would you like to chop wood or hunt?
Chop wood this time.
You'll spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself 1 wealth. One day, you stumble upon a tall, nicely trimmed hedge in the middle of the woods.
Interesting.
You sit and eat your lunch in front of the hedge, wondering exactly what it's doing out in the woods.
Doing its best, I guess.
Suddenly, an enormous hand erupts from the foliage.
Oh shit.
Do you dodge it or punch it?
I punch it.
Like a boss.
You try punching the hand, but your blow just glances off of it. The hand then grabs you and pulls you through the thorns of the hedge. You lose 1 physique. The beast drags you all the way back to its lair and chains you up to a wall.
Oh no!
It starts peeling layers of your flesh off of you and eating it in front of you.
Oh no!
No.
Are you gonna die already?
Then he waves his hand, regenerating the flesh on your body.
Oh.
Oh, are you serious?
This is awful.
This cycle occurs for what feels like years. The mental torment you undergo is unbearable. You lose 3 mind. The constant barrage of healing spells infuses you with raw magic. You gain 3 magic.
I think
Nice.
I might be magic, but
One day, the beast's lair is attacked by another monster. You take this opportunity to escape. You push through the hedge and back into the forest. When you finally arrive home, you learn that you've only been gone for a day. Ben,
Yes.
where would you like to go?
To the tavern.
I think we're all just repeating our things here and just seeing where we go.
I'm gonna try and spice things up.
Would you like to bartend or drink?
Bartend.
You spend the weeks.
Yeah.
You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn 1 wealth in tips and gain 2 charm. One day, an impromptu drinking contest is held. Apparently again. Would you like to enter it or spectate?
I will spectate.
As you watch from afar, people down pint after pint, making complete fools of themselves. You feel a little better about not entering. You gain 1 mind.
Very nice.
Again, that's very fitting for just this big burly guy who's the bartender.
Yeah, I don't think I'll enter it this time.
Not after last time.
Brian,
Arena.
would you like to compete in the fight or bet on the fight?
I'd like to compete.
You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. In a fabulous red dress.
Fabulous.
Oh yes.
You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse.
Did anyone hear me face palm?
While wandering around the halls between matches, you spot your former lover, Kelly. An awkward exchange happens in which you want to know how they're doing without seeming to care too much. After a few minutes, Jean, one of the popular fighters in the arena, butts into the conversation. Hey Kelly, sorry to interrupt, but we've got to leave right away if we want to make it to your mother's in time.
Wait, the character's name is Kelly?
The former lover's name is Kelly.
Oh,
You say an awkward goodbye as they walk off, holding hands. How do you feel? You feel happy for Kelly, or you feel extreme jealousy?
I feel happy for Kelly. I want things to go well for me.
You feel it's good that both of you have moved on. This encounter, despite its awkwardness, was refreshing. You gain 1 charm.
Oh, nice.
Orichalcos,
yes.
where would you like to go first?
Where was the vigilante option? I want to give that a try.
That's in the slums.
I'd like to go to the slums, if that's okay.
And there you would like
let's
to
see what-
fight crime.
Yeah. I need a superhero name.
Ratman, Catman, Hatman,
Oh,
Datman.
From how I look up, from how my character looks, I will call myself the Twig.
So Groot.
You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain
Messes with the Twig.
You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. One night, a man walks up to you. "Excuse me, sir. Feeling a little lonely tonight?" he asks. "For only a small amount of coin, I can make you feel good all night."
I don't really have any coins, so I'm afraid I'm not gonna have to, pass.
Your loss.
Maybe next time, Honey Pop.
Baby Groot, do, baby Groot.
No. I hate that song.
You're welcome.
They say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured houses whole, stole lives, tore families and family members apart.
Certainly seemed that way.
But that was
Sounds like the Yawhg needs a hobby.
that was so very long ago. Sean, are you the Yawhg?
No.
As far as you're concerned, not really.
Tanny, where would you like to go in week 2?
Okay. So I'm gonna go to. I don't know where to go. Since my magic is good, I'm gonna go to the tower. I'm gonna go to the alchemy tower.
Would you like to clean the lab or brew some potions?
I'm gonna brew some potions. I'm gonna be the magical person.
You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind. One day, all of the alchemists decide to take a break from work and instead throw a cantrip party. One alchemist waves his hands and produces confetti in front of him.
Are you gonna have like green caterpillar eyebrows again?
Another spawns a seemingly endless number of doves from his sleeve. Then all the alchemists turn to you to see what you can come up with. Would you like to do a simple trick or a complex trick?
You make it
We'll
look
just-
like your thumb.
I'm
has
gonna make
come
a
apart.
complex.
With a snap of your fingers, you bring a chair to life. You sit atop it and ride it around the room.
Perfect.
Everybody else is quite impressed. You gain 2 charm. Ben,
What did you do? What was your magic trick?
I made a chair come to life and I sat on it and I ran around. I ran.
Nice.
Very nice.
So when the apocalypse happens, you can just run away into the distance on your moving chair.
This time I am going to the arena.
would you like to compete?
Say hi to Brian while you're at it.
Would you like to compete or bet?
I will compete.
You,
Hello,
sp-
Brian.
you spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse.
Very nice.
Let's just hope there's no demon child.
One day, in between matches, you stumble upon one of the higher-ranked fighters ingesting illegal strength potions. "Please, sir, don't report me," she cries. I'll even share some of my potion with you if you keep quiet," she adds. Do you take her offer or report her?
I take her offer.
"Thank you so much for not reporting me," she says while handing you her flask.
She's very polite for a rule breaker.
You take a small swig of the potion and can feel your muscles expand significantly. You gain 2 physique. Brian, where would you like to go this week? You can go to the forest, the gardens, the palace, the tavern, the hospital, or the slums.
I'll go to the forest.
Would you like to chop wood or go hunting?
Well, we know what happened when Tanny went to chop wood, so I'll go hunting.
You spend the week hunting defenseless critters. You gain 2 finesse and sell the pelts for 1 wealth. One day you stumble upon a dryad picking flowers in a field. Upon noticing you, a tree person.
What's the name for it?
Dryad.
Upon noticing you, she runs up to you excitedly. "Excuse me, miss, would you care to dance?" she asks. "I've been wanting to dance for so long, but nobody else has been around to dance with," she sighs. Would you like to dance with the dryad, or say I don't dance?
Yeah, I think I would say I don't dance, because I know how dancing with fairies usually ends.
No, it's a tree.
Well, you're no fun, she replies.
You just missed out on dancing with Groot.
She turns into a flurry of leaves and flies away. That was a beautiful encounter. You feel enlightened just witnessing it. You gain 1 mind. And then Orakelkos.
Yes.
Where would you like to go?
I'm gonna go to the gardens.
Would you like to landscape or meditate?
I'm gonna do some landscaping.
You spend the week maintaining the plants in the royal garden and carving this fine topiary bird.
It is known that the twig is a master of topiaries.
It's fitting. You gain 1 finesse, 1 physique.
The twig is doing work in the garden.
And earn yourself 1 wealth.
Nice.
One day you come across an elderly man snoozing on the grass. "You there, young person." He waves you over. "I'm having an awful time trying to nap in the bright sun. Do you mind giving me some shade?" Would you like to block the sun for the old man or decline him?
I'm going to block the sun for the old man because, I don't know, just why not?
Ages seem to pass as you stand in the hot sun, the wizened old man sleeping peacefully in your shadow. The sun is sweltering, and after some hours you begin to feel faint. Gradually, everything grows dark. When you awaken, it is evening in the garden, and an ancient gnarled tree stands where the old man was sleeping. For witnessing this miraculous event, you gain 1 magic.
Nice. I might have gotten sunburned, but I got magic.
It was on us in a heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook. The air went still.
Oh yeah, we're still doing that thing. Okay.
Tanny, where would you like to go in week 3?
I might stay in the... I might... No, actually. I might go to the... My magic is 10. I'm gonna stay in the alchemy tower.
And what would you like to do there?
I'll clean the place.
You spend the week cleaning up noxious chemicals. You're paid 1 wealth for your labour, and gain 1 physique and 1 magic. One day you hear cries for help coming from the next room. Running over to investigate, you see that the alchemists there have accidentally created an ooze monster.
Again? Do they ever learn?
No, they never seem to. How do you dispatch the ooze? Punch it into submission or blast it with magic.
Blast it with magic. My magic's pretty good, so I'll just blast.
You pulverize the ooze into a puddle with an array of magical spells. The alchemists all cheer. You gain 1 charm.
Very nice.
Ben.
Oh, spell.
Learning is for chumps.
Well, let's see. I think that this time I'm gonna go to the slums.
And would you like to pickpocket or fight crime?
Fight crime.
The Twig's new. It appears there's a new vigilante on this.
There's a new vigilante in town.
The incredibly big.
The incredibly big.
Avengers assemble, the Twig and the rather large.
Who is the Twig in the Avengers?
Groot.
Yeah.
I like a mix between Twig and between Groot and Hawkeye.
I'm picturing like Groot, but with like the arrow, like the bow, actually coming out of the end of his arm.
I think he'd form his arm into like a bow and then just fire like twigs at people. That'd be really awesome.
You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse.
Oh yeah.
One day, while wandering the slums, you notice that the stones used to line the road seem to have a certain pattern to them. You don't manage to figure out the mystery, but you feel pretty smart for noticing the pattern of the tiles. You gain 1 mind.
Oh yeah. I has all the intelligize.
Intelligize.
Brian! Where would you like to go in week 3?
The gardens.
And would you like to landscape or meditate?
Meditate.
You spend the week in deep meditation under this tree.
Aw, that's cute.
You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. Walking past a pond one day, you see a fat little frog sitting on a lily pad. Please, miss, the frog begs. I'm not a frog at all, but an enchanted prince. If you could see your way to kissing me, it would break the curse and return me to normal. Would you like to kiss the frog or attempt to catch the frog?
I'll kiss the frog. It's too bad the frog is into Robin Williams in a frog suit.
You bend down and kiss the frog. You feel a curious stirring, like a curse trying to break. Unfortunately, you don't seem to be magical enough to get the job done. The frog thanks you for your efforts and hops off sadly. You wake up the next morning with a bad case of lip warts. You lose 1 charm. Orichalcos,
Yeah.
where would you like to go this week?
I am going to head to the arena. What could go wrong?
And would the Twig like to compete or bet on the fights?
The Twig always competes in a battle.
You'll spend the week fighting brutes in the arena.
With holding a dagger in the wrong way.
You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. One day, in the middle of a match, a dryad runs into the field.
What's
Dryad?
the thing? Yeah, it's the same thing that Brian was supposed to dance with.
Would anyone like to dance? She appears to be asking.
Dance with them. Dance with the dryad.
Boos and hisses erupt from the crowd. Before you can even react, one of the fighters has already cleaved the Dryad in two.
No!
A terrible shriek booms from the wound. The crowd erupts into applause. The Dryad's corpse then explodes into a flurry of leaves that cuts everyone nearby. You lose one physique.
I did not do anything.
And then the world was a howling fury. Chaos, screaming, the sound of all we knew being pulled in half. Tanny.
Okay.
Where would you like to go?
Palace?
Palace?
Yeah, palace.
Would you like to do admin work or attend a ball?
I'm gonna attend the ball. I'm gonna look fancy. Like,
You shall go to the ball in this fabulous blue outfit.
Cinderella.
oh my god, she looks amazing.
You spend the week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse.
Nice.
One day you overhear the jester tell a joke to a group of people. Everyone laughs, but you didn't understand the joke at all. Would you like to ask for an explanation, or try to figure out the joke on your own?
I'm gonna ask for an explanation. I want to see what this happens.
You approach the jester, asking what exactly the joke meant. The jester scolds you at length about the dangers of explaining jokes. Something about puppies and them dying when you dissect them.
Ooh.
You don't quite understand, but everyone around you starts laughing. Presumably, the jester has just made another joke at your expense. You feel humiliated and mocked. You lose a charm.
Oh shit.
Ben.
Throw the drink in his face.
Turn him into a chair.
Yes.
And ride him out of town.
Oh yeah.
I think this time I'm gonna go back to the tap.
Are you going to work in the tavern again, or going to go drinking?
I'm gonna work in the tavern again.
You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn a wealth in tips and gain 2 charm. One day, while in the tavern, you hear a large commotion outside. Would you like to go outside, or stay in the bar?
I'm gonna go outside, take a look.
Outside, you see a crowd of angry people carrying torches and pitchforks.
Oh dear.
Kill the Dryad! They chant in a sort of synchronized cacophony.
Oh.
They are all running to the middle of the town. Working your way through the mob, you find the Dryad running away. I was just looking for someone to dance with, she sobs. You shout at the top of your lungs for the crowd to stop what they're doing. You hear murmurs in the crowd. Soon enough, the crowd disperses. The Dryad runs up to you and gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Aww.
You feel energy radiate through your body. You gain 3 finesse.
No.
Brian.
Magic kiss.
The alchemy tower.
Would you like to clean the lab or brew potions?
Clean.
You spend the week cleaning up noxious chemicals. You are paid 1 wealth for your labour, and gain 1 physique and 1 magic. One day, an artificer stops by for a visit. She's adorned with magical gadgets and gizmos and is followed everywhere by her clockwork spider. The alchemists of the tower all go out of their way to impress the artificer, while offering her an array of potions and elixirs. As she's leaving, she adorns the most charming of the alchemists with a special trinket. The fact that she didn't choose you was a very humbling experience. You gain 1 charm. And Orichalcos,
Yes.
where would you like to go?
The twig's gonna go back to the slums and do some more vigilante work.
You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse.
My outfit. Is my outfit? Did I change my outfit or just?
No, it's the same.
No, it's the same.
It's the same one, but the colours are a bit different. The vampire.
One night, you hear a woman whisper at you from nearby.
It's the slit mouth woman. Run away.
Hey you, she calls out. Looking to make a bit of coin? I'm always up for more coin, or no thank you.
Choose wisely.
You know what? Why the hell not? What have I got to lose aside from, well,
Your life.
dignity, my life, a lot of other things. Let's just go ahead and do this.
You're always up for more coin?
Yes.
She signals for you to go into the alleyway with her. Come closer, she says. Nobody else can hear what I'm about to tell you. You lean in close, eager to learn how you will be earning this coin.
Baby Groot, baby Groot.
She presses herself right up against you, moving her lips slowly towards your ears. Suddenly, she bites your neck viciously.
Aye.
Blood pours from the wound, and she clings to you tightly, lapping it all up. You black out.
Okay, vampires.
When you come to, you see her standing over you. Thanks, she says, tossing a couple of coin. You gain.
No worries.
You gain 1 wealth.
Oh, I felt that.
I'm like, thank you.
She then
Please.
melts into the shadows.
Well, at least I managed to help someone out.
When you
Kind of.
feel your neck, you notice your wound has healed completely.
I'm a vampire now.
Your body feels ice cold. You gain 3 charm. You lose 3 physique.
The twig is not gonna. I don't. Where am I
The
going
twig
with
is
this?
getting twiggier.
It's not looking good for the twig. The
Will
twig.
the twig survive this encounter with the mistress of the night? Tune in next time. Same twig place, same twig channel.
The twig might need another twig through the heart. When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong? Or have we forgotten?
Forgotten what now?
I don't know. Tanny!
Okay.
We've not forgotten Tanny.
I was gonna say.
Hang on a second. I'm in the middle of drawers. Okay. So, continue with I want to get my charm. No. I want my charm and magic up a bit, really. So I'm gonna go to the gardens.
Would you like to landscape or meditate?
Meditate.
You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind.
Like,
One day, a toothless old woman approaches you.
there we go. Yeah.
I have a small pouch of magic beans. Would you be interested in
This
purchasing them? Of course I would.
Yes.
Or no thanks. Yes?
Oh.
You spend 1 wealth on the beans. Later, you decide to plant them in a rarely visited part of the garden. Ben,
Can someone go into the garden?
No. Yes.
where would you like to go?
I think I'm going to go to the palace.
Would you like to do admin work or attend the fancy ball?
I will attend the fancy ball.
You spend the
I
week.
like fancy get up.
You spend the week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day you decide to lean up against a wall just to take a break. It rotates as you apply pressure and you stumble down a set of stairs. You enter a large dusty room filled with barrels. You have found the king's famous wine cellar.
Sweet.
Would you host a secret party in here, or keep quiet about what you saw?
I think I'm going to keep quiet about what I saw.
Just knowing that you have a secret to hide is so exciting! You gain 1 charm and 1 mind. Brian.
The palace.
You can't go to the palace.
No.
No, I'm there. I'll keep you away.
What's after the palace?
Tavern, hospital, or slums?
Tavern. Your camera's in the way.
Yeah, I know. Bartend or drink?
Bartend.
You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn 1 wealth in tips and gain 2 charm.
Fancy.
One day, the tavern throws its annual dart tournament. Would you like to enter the dart tournament or spectate?
Spectate.
You watch the tournament from the sidelines, analysing throwing techniques. You gain 1 finesse. Orichalcos,
Yes.
where would you like to go this week?
To the alchemy tower. The twig needs to reevaluate his decisions.
Would you like to clean it or brew a potion here?
I'm gonna brew some potions. Maybe I'll find a cure for my vampirism.
You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews.
Now that just reminds me of the game Vampire, or Vampire, however it's pronounced. I've been playing that quite a bit.
Vampire.
It's a pretty fun game.
You gain 2 magic.
Is it the one you like?
You gain 2 magic and 1 mind.
Nice. It is it is very hard to not eat people as a vampire in that game.
Over the course of the week, you've noticed your skin becoming paler and your teeth sharper. You notice that whenever you
change my vigilante name.
You notice that whenever you talk, everyone nearby hangs on your every word. You gain 3 more charm. You also feel more frail and gaunt than you used to.
Oh dear.
You lose 3 physique.
How do I change this? I think there is only one way that I can change this.
One day, you notice a woman tilting her head back, brushing her hair. Her neck fully exposed. You can even see a vein or 2. Delicious. Before you know it, you're coated in blood, with a mangled form in front of you.
Well, I was going to probably do that anyway.
There are dozens of people around, and they're all filled with delicious nectar. The next few hours are a blur. You wake up the next day in bedsheets soaked with blood that is not your own. You look in the mirror and notice your skin has regained its colour, and that your teeth have dulled. However, there might be a stunning lack of alchemists now, as someone may have just eaten them all.
Well, well, look at the bright side. It's prime real estate for me. I can gain money and blood at the same time.
The Yawhg. It's almost here. Almost. Almost. So the alchemy tower's gone. Somebody went on a mad killing spree and ate it all.
I didn't eat them. I drained them. I just, used a silly straw, stuck it in their neck, and
Tanny. Where would you like to go?
Gonna go to the palace.
Would you like to do admin work or attend a ball?
I'll do admin work.
You spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. You are paid 2 wealth and gain 1 mind. One day you hear somebody shouting something in the hallway. "There's a bomb in the palace!" they scream.
Great.
There is a mass panic as people desperately try to escape the palace walls.
They run to the alchemist tower.
Would you like to locate and disarm the bomb or run away?
I'm just gonna run away. I'm in no fit position to do so anyway.
You get out of there just before the bomb goes off. A huge explosion occurs, knocking you off your feet and completely wrecking the castle. So the palace has also now gone bye-bye, except this is the 6th week, so it's fine.
Well, the Yawhg will not really have much to destroy.
Ben.
I'm hearing an echo.
I am hearing an echo as well.
From who?
Marco.
Echo?
Me?
Someone is listening
It's
to
come
the
from
stream,
Brian.
I think.
It's Brian.
Brian?
Ben, where would you like to go?
Yes. I am going to go to the tavern.
And would you like to bartend or drink?
I will bartend. I'll make sure that my clients will get a nice drink before they come.
You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn 1 wealth in tips, and gain 2 charm. One day while in the tavern, a heated argument erupts between 2 patrons. Soon enough, fists are flying, and everybody seems to be joining in on the violence. Would you like to join the fray, or break up the fight?
I'll break up the fight. We shouldn't be fighting between ourselves.
You jump on top of a table and yell a plea to the patrons to stop all the violence. Before you know it, everybody has calmed down and chatting to one another like nothing ever happened.
Nice.
Thanks for that, says the bartender while slipping you a small sack of coins.
Ooh, power.
You gain another wealth. Brian.
What's after the tavern?
Hospital or slums?
Hospital.
Would you like to clean up or tend to the patients?
Tend to the patients.
You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. One day, while on the maternity ward, you notice a woman about to give birth.
Yep, here we go again.
The baby she births is no ordinary baby, however.
It's John Sienna.
Its skin is pitch black. Its skin is pitch black and shiny, and its eyes glow an orange flame. It wrestles itself from the doctor's hands and tries to fly away. "Stop that demon!" yells the doctor. Would you like to use your strength or use your magic?
What was the first one?
Strength or magic?
Magic.
Here we go.
With a wave of your hand, you put up a magical barrier blocking the exit. The baby breaks right through it and flies off into the night sky.
Not again.
Don't worry. Well, I'm gonna do this time.
Do not go to the arena.
No.
Orachalcos,
no.
would you like to go to the arena?
Is that the only option I have? No.
No, you can go to the forest. Chop wood or hunt?
I'm going to do some chopping of the woods.
The twig decides to take it to his own kind.
Yeah. Well, they weren't really nice to me, so...
You spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself 1 wealth.
Nice.
One day you stumble upon a gigantic moss-covered stone. It pulses with a magical energy. What do you do?
What choices do I have?
Touch it, or leave it alone.
I ain't touching that. I don't know where it's been.
You walk away from the stone. That night you stop by the library on your way home, your curiosity getting the better of you. You find nothing about the stone, but just being in the library makes you feel smarter.
Nice.
You gain 1 mind. Just being in the library made you smarter. I wish that worked.
Wow.
If only that was...
I'd be there all the time, just sat in the corner eating my... Yeah, I'm getting smart.
The storm arrives in the night. By the morning it still rages.
Oh no.
For 3 full days the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us. But then it ends. We see the graveyard our home has become. Our home. Does anything yet live? Is it? Are we past saving? Tanny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What role would you like to take in this post-apocalyptic
Well,
war?
Choose wisely.
So no leader, no builder. Conjurer might be do with magic.
Yeah.
Doctor, smelter. What's below smelter?
Tailor, looter, or drunk?
I'll just be a conjurer.
You take it upon yourself to help conjure supplies for the town. With your magic, you summon supplies of the highest caliber. With little effort, you're summoning high-quality lumber and food from out of nowhere. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly.
I've got to say, that looks like Amy after con.
Ben,
Yeah.
I think, with my high charm, I will go for leader.
Alrighty-orama.
you take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. You expertly delegate and prioritize tasks. You give motivating speeches and act as an effective mediator in disputes.
It's the same picture as when I was a builder.
This helps the rebuilding effort significantly. Brian,
Yeah.
would you like to be the builder, the doctor, the smelter, the tailor, the looter, or the town drunk?
Keep in mind that your biggest strength out of this is mind.
Okay, so biggest strength is mind. What would that put me? It'd be good for.
Proceed.
Doctor?
Doctor, I guess.
Doctor's it's Doctor like finesse though. What's finesse about?
Finesse is like dexterity, effectively.
Probably say go for Doctor because that's mind.
The doctor.
You take it upon yourself to help the sick and injured from the Yawhg. You're able to keep most patients in stable condition. Some are even able to get up and back to work in no time.
Nice.
This helps the survival effort quite a bit. Orachalcos, that leaves you with the builder,
That leaves the twig.
the builder, the smelter, the tailor, the looter, or the town drunk?
I think I'm gonna be the tailor.
You volunteer to weave and mend clothing for the survivors to keep warm.
Now everyone can be as fabulous as the twig.
You manage to make a pair of socks for every survivor before your stamina gives out.
Oh,
Oh no.
It's not
I'm
much, but enough to help a small amount.
that's good at least.
And so we set about our tasks, once more living our
See
lives,
what happens.
this time in a way we might never have expected, or even wanted. But in the end, it was a struggle, but a struggle we never abandoned.
Ah, yeah.
Although our homes had been stripped apart, we did not let it languish, and whether we succeed or fail, we did our best. Who knows if the Yawhg will ever visit again? Who knows if we will ever be, can ever be, ready for it? So you didn't fail, but you didn't rebuild the town perfectly.
Yeah.
We're getting to it.
It's a work in progress. As Sean says, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yes.
Tanny, while the town is being rebuilt, you start up a magical waste cleanup initiative. When boats accidentally leak toxic potions into the water, your crew arrives to clean off birds, fish, and other animals.
Oh.
You're named Time Magazine's Person of the Year for 6 years in a row, which feels pretty good. After all, this exposure to magical waste gives you superpowers.
Sweet.
Ben,
Yes.
the old tavern owner died in the Yawhg, and you decide to take up the task yourself. Before long, the tavern is busier than ever, filled with good music, games, and friends. Your tavern's doing so great that every other tavern in the area has closed down. You start a chain of taverns throughout the city to fill the demand. Every new tavern you open makes it more difficult to manage all of them. You begin enacting policies that make it easier for you to keep track of how the taverns are being run. The taverns all start to become bland and uninteresting places to be, but since you have a monopoly, you're still making ridiculous amounts of money. Largely, I think we've decided that ending is you start Weatherspoons.
Pretty much.
Brian, the Yawhg changed you. Probably for the better. With the town being rebuilt, you eventually decide to retake your role as a doctor in the hospital. There, you make friends with another doctor. The two of you do everything together. You're inseparable. Eventually, you even decide to get an apartment and live with each other.
Aww.
Then your friend gets married. And everything changes.
No.
Their spouse has to move away to a new town, and your friend follows. You try to keep in touch by mail, but the letters start to come less and less frequently. You try to fraternize with the other doctors. While they're all nice people, nothing can compare. Orichalcos.
Yes.
While the town is being rebuilt, you spend more and more time in the alchemy tower, thinking, wouldn't it be really nice if there was some alchemist here still?
The ones I ate.
Your potion brewing quickly becomes among the best in the world.
Nice.
Your health and mana potions are considered world-class delicacies, with people venturing far and wide to buy them. But you never learn how to brew a love potion.
So?
And that is the end of the Yawhg. Thanks to these...
Need a romance.
Thanks to these people for making the game.
Big thanks to them.
Big doesn't need remembrance.
Thank you guys.
We all had kind of a happy ending.
And that is all for this week. That is all for this session of the Yawhg. We'll probably be back with more Yawhg because I think it's a really fun game, and we'll get other people.
Fun.
We'll get other people in on
I
it.
still think.
Sounds like a
I
plan.
still think we should do Monster Prom because it's literally the same thing.
And we'll try other games.
I have Monster Prom.
This is a really awesome game.
I follow the people who draws it.
For
and
now,
they're just gonna
guys.
stand as-
For now, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you haven't done so already, please do hit that follow button before you go. I will be back on Sunday with the continuation of Tomb of Annihilation. The group continues to move through the Fane of the Night Serpent, trying to find the final puzzle cube that will allow them access to the Tomb of Annihilation itself. On Monday, Sean and I will continue Minecraft, possibly joined by Sean. Hopefully, we shall see. We will be
faffing about and doing stuff.
We'll be faffing about and doing stuff. We'll hopefully be getting some more End Dragon materials.
Ooh, yeah.
On Wednesday next week, the Adventures of the Golden Tooth continues. Probably. Are we okay for that, Sean? Are you okay to D&D on Thursday night? Wednesday night, not Thursday night.
Assuming I've got my ass in gear and got everything packed for definite, I'm there. But I'll keep you posted.
Keep us posted. We continue the Adventures of the Golden Tooth, probably. And then streaming takes a little bit of a break because we'll all be at MCM Expo and not able to stream from there. On the Friday, I have a panel from 12 to 12:45. So if you're at MCM Expo, come along and see that. I also have a panel on the Saturday night from 6 till 7. We round out the show with a live play of D&D on the studio stage. Myself, Ben, Sean, Carboom, and Sammy will be playing a little Tomb of Annihilation side quest one-shot entitled A Walk in the Park.
Ooh.
If you aren't able to make it to MCM and do want to see those things, I have been assured that we are going to have them recorded, and we will be putting them up on YouTube and Twitch. Hopefully we'll be doing a Twitch premiere and a YouTube premiere so that you can watch along with us and we can talk about the things that happened some point in the weeks after the expo. We'll also hopefully have things like vlogs and maybe speak to some cosplayers and stuff. For now, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Farewell.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.